In this video, I will explain and express how boxing has tried its damnedest to stop, to bamboozle, to stifle Devin Haney. Bob Arum, top rank, we got a deal. Bob Arum admits that a fight with George Kambosos was done before this whole invasion. Now, it doesn't look like the fight is gonna happen. Will Kambosos finally fight Devin Haney for Undisputed? Devin may have lucked out. I'm gonna talk about that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. 48% of the people who consume my content in the last 28 days did not subscribe. They just watched it and they didn't subscribe. Check to see if you're subscribed. Sometimes it slips your mind, so here's your reminder. Other thing, some people think they're subscribed to my channel because they get notifications, but they're not truly subscribed. So I'd advise you guys to check, see if you're actually subscribed. Sometimes YouTube has like bugs and it'll unsubscribe people if you don't leave a comment, weird stuff. So here's your warning. Subscribe to the channel, the best in the business, and you can unsubscribe if you aren't feeling the content. So Michael Benson reports, it says Bob Arum has revealed that George Kambosos Jr. versus Vergil Lomachenko was a done deal. Then Lomachenko returned to the Ukraine to defend his country from Russia's invasion. He said Kambosos Jr.'s team are now nearing a point where they'll have to move on to fight someone else. And this was an interview that Bob did with Fight Hub, right? Boxing, I love the sport. The sport has saved my life in many ways. Boxing is the best sport in the world. Unfortunately, it doesn't always get treated like such a great sport by people in the sport. Boxing media, boxing writers, boxing fans, and the promoters and networks at times, right? The world, my thing is this. The world has tried so hard to keep Devin Haney down and to keep him out of the way and create this obstacle course that only certain fighters have to complete and pass in order to get the jackpot at the end of the rainbow, to get the, as Canelo says, payday, you know, and it's ridiculous. And now, to me, like, my thing is this, it's like you get in a fight with your sibling. When you get in a fight with your sibling and you hit them, and then the sibling goes and snitches you out, tattletales, tells your parents, explains the story, and your mom or dad, your parent, makes you apologize to your sibling. That's not a sincere, most of the time, it's not a sincere apology. It's an apology because your parents are forcing you to apologize for your actions. But if your parents didn't make you, would you really be apologizing? Do you really have sorrow and remorse for what you've done? And I think boxing sometimes it goes with the analogy I just gave, is boxing sometimes is forced to get things right. It's not that boxing wanted to get it right. It's not that the people in boxing were pushing for the right thing to happen, but you know, sometimes it manifests like that. Like a guy will duck a fight and then schedule to fight another person, the fight get canceled. Or the guy will duck and then the person gets canceled, so they need somebody, and then now the guy gets. And I think that is the case with Devin Haney. Devin Haney may now get the George Kambosos fight by default, because it doesn't look like Kambosos' side or Lou DiBella or whoever was chomping at the bit for that fight. You know, Kambosos, he went to Devin's fight, and then later on Twitter, you know, he did say some things like, "Oh, you're a Twitter warrior, and me and Loma fought the best." And George Kambosos, he did contradict himself, if I'm being fair. He contradicted himself because there were interviews before the Teofimo victory, and Kambosos was saying stuff to the effect of, "Why should I fight Lomachenko?" No, it was actually right after the fight. He says, "Why should I fight Lomachenko when I've just beaten the guy that beat Lomachenko?" And he was acting like his sights were set on Devin Haney's and guys like Gervonta Davis. And then he kind of reneged because Bob Arum's telling it, you know, unless Bob's lying, and he's saying that we had a deal in place. But the only reason that Kambosos may now have to move on is because of what? The whole invasion that no one in boxing could control. And now Lomachenko has decided to strap up and join the battalion and fight for his country for the foreseeable future, which is commendable. So shout out to everybody who is fighting for their country, you know, showing that true patriotism. The Klitschko brothers, Vladimir, and Usyk and Lomachenko, and the president, you know, the president of Ukraine, everybody that's just getting down to protect their land, you know. But it's so wrong what boxing has done to Devin Haney. Like, they're trying so hard, and I'm a firm believer, maybe it's my upbringing, I have great parents, that it's just better to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Do what's right. Have some morals. Have principles. Have values. Live your life disciplined. Be righteous, or try your best to be on a righteous path. Those things, you usually can't go wrong when you do those things, right? Devin Haney, the WBC created so much mess, so much calamity, and the easy fix, instead of calling a black American fighter email man and email champion and fake champion and all these things that they tend to do, the racists in boxing, the right thing would be to make the Kambosos fight. And I've said that from day one. Notice I make my videos and keep it pushing. I don't have to usually change my opinion, you know, outside of a fight prediction I got wrong or something. But the videos like this, where there's a moral there, or there's like a, you know, it's like a fable and there's a moral to the story, I never have to change. I said from the beginning, Devin Haney deserves a shot. And let's just clarify the undisputed. Boxing didn't want to play by these rules, but now Bob Arum's admitting it, that they may have to move on because Devin Haney is ready and available. Kambosos just sitting on the belts, and Lomachenko is tied up for the foreseeable future. It's over. Fight Devin. Like I said from the beginning, I told you I'm the best in boxing history. You guys will see. I will continue to show and stamp out my legacy as somebody in this boxing game. I posted this, made this graphic. Team Kambosos had the contract, the offer for quite some time. Why the cold feet? The pressure is here. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm out.